Hi, and welcome to Danny After Dark. If you're new here, make sure to like and subscribe so you don't miss a notification or a new episode. Tonight is the weekly True Crime and Chill. Mr. Beckham should be fashionably late, as always, and there is a lot to talk about this week. I feel like I say that every week. This week, there's a lot to talk about. The Lori Vallow Daybell trial has begun, and y'all know there's a lot there. There's a lot there in itself. We could do a whole episode on that, but we will get to that shortly. As you know, with it being the True Crime and Chill, the doors are open for the cats. So there will be cats coming and going. We got Luke already in here. And actually Leia's in here as well on the cat tower. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Anyways, happy Friday, everybody. It has been a long week, but I'm really excited. It's the weekend, and yeah, we get to chill and just hang out and have a good time. So for those who did not see the event I already put up for Monday, it will be a live interview, and I'm really excited for that. So Travis Myers will be live on Danny After Dark. I already put a description in the interview drop-down bar if you are unfamiliar with who Travis is, but definitely check out his podcast in the meantime. Any information about him online. He has done interviews on other podcasts too, and I've already listened to all of them, and they are so good. So I'm so excited to have him on. And of course, my cat's already knocking stuff down. And we will take audience questions as well. It's going to be interactive, and oh my gosh, I am so looking forward to it. And he is from New York and has a very New York accent. I don't think I have a Boston accent, but y'all seem to think I do. So yeah, this may be a battle of the accents, Boston versus New York. We'll see. Either way, I am looking forward to it. So tune in Monday, 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern. All right, let's see who is here tonight. And speak of the devil, Mr. Beckham.
What's up? How you doing?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I heard you talking about there's a lot to talk about.
Yeah, I mean, if you read the doc.
I did go through the doc, though.
And yeah, and there's some news that broke this evening that I have on my phone because I didn't even have time to put it in the. Oh my gosh, there's so much this week. I mean, Lori Vallow, that trial already started this week. So, oh my gosh, but we will get to that because it is everything we have been waiting for, and it is not disappointing. So again, let's see who is here. James Watson. Hello. Yes, my shirt. Oh my gosh, I'm obsessed with the shirt. Stay trashy. K-Dog, hello. Having some cocktails. Just did my taxes. So K-Dog, you don't have to answer this. Are you having cocktails because, yeah, your taxes are done, you're excited, this is great news from doing your taxes, or are you doing your taxes and having a cocktail to kind of ease the pain? It could be either. It could be both. Hey, Linda, good to see you. Let's Karen Diamond. Hello, hope you are well. The cats are so sweet. Thank you. They are so sweet. But I think I'm biased. Hey, Chris James, Richard. Makeup looking great, Danny. Thank you. Thank you. And I got, oh my gosh, I posted a short on the channel. What was it? The event was last Saturday, but I think I posted it on Sunday. I went to the Turtle Boy Canton trivia night, and I just posted like this little clip of me just like grooving out to the music, and Turtle Boy and his girlfriend Meredith were behind me. Oh my gosh, the amount of messages I got from that. Like, your makeup, your makeup. And I'm like, yeah, I decided to get dressed up for once. Let's see. Kathy, hello. Karen, hello. Mr. Beckham, sending love from Australia.
Hi, Karen. Well, hello.
Dear God. Oh, and yeah, I
It
think
gives
my
me a chance.
subscriber count just went down by one, and I think I know who it is.
It gives me a chance to do that.
Oh gosh, Lord help us all. Hey, Kat, Lori Vello is back. Kat, I know. We know we are going to talk. Like, we could do a whole show tonight just on the Lori Vallow trial. Do you know how hard it was? Kat, I need to calm
It's
down.
gonna prove. What was the? How did she open? How did she do her opening?
Oh,
Her
I have
thing?
it. I have it.
She kept saying the same thing over and over. It's
She's
gonna show.
stressed.
It's gonna prove or something. I'm gonna. I don't.
God.
And the
It's
other, then the other. What the prosecutor was like? Objection. Objection.
it was everything
It was yeah, it was objection
we
after objection,
expected.
and then the judge was. I bet the judge was just like, "Oh my god, dude."
You know what's going to happen? Okay, we haven't even gotten into it. You know
I
what's going to
know.
happen? She's going to be found guilty, and then she's probably going to file an appeal saying ineffective counsel when it was herself.
When it was her.
Yeah. I mean, my God. Ted Bundy represented himself. How did that go? Lori Vallow, how do you think you're any different? Okay, I need to calm down. I'm getting all worked up.
Then the
Okay.
waitress was like, "Darling, you're not." I don't know what
Oh,
I don't know what the waitress told her.
we will get to that. Oh my gosh. So I had to screen
She
grab.
was like,
We'll talk.
"Sweetheart, you're not all that," or something. I don't
I
know what she
screen
told her.
grabbed it and I sent it to Beckham. I'm like, I can't tell
Oh,
Beckham
that's
what
right.
was
Yes, I was like, I
said.
saw that somewhere, and it was you sent it to me.
Yeah, I sent it to you because I was like, I can't just tell you what happened. I think you have to see it
I
for
don't know. She
for it
called
to
her
be
something,
trust.
and she called her. I think she said "sweetheart." She's like, "Sweetheart, you're
I
just not
got the
all that
audio.
important."
We'll play it. I got the audio. Hey Tony. Let's see. Um Capone, welcome. Kane, hello. Da, 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 da. Just everybody's checking in. Great t-shirt, Danny. Thank you. I feed my possums. Possums are awesome. Possums get a bad rap. They are so awesome. And they do such great things for the environment. And I don't think people realize that. Possums are amazing.
Don't go getting a pet possum, dude.
No, I will not be getting a pet possum. I'm trying to, yeah. No, I will not get a pet possum. Then I watch them on my phone via my trail cam. That is awesome. That is so awesome, Richard. Hey, Shelly, welcome. So,
Hey, babe.
all right. Beckham, should we just? People want to talk about it. Should we just go right into Lori Vallow?
If you want, I mean, go for it.
I think we need to. I think we need
You
to.
can skip around.
It's
Um,
just, I feel that's what everybody wants to talk about. That's what everybody is talking about. So, all right, let me just get to
what
that
about
part
have
of
you
the
or
note.
what about Koberger and pig DNA?
We got coworker Beckham. We got it all tonight.
You
We
know what?
got
Have you
we
wait?
got Lori
Is that what it's
Vallow. We
called?
got Karen
Pig DNA?
Reed. We got Koberger. We got Menendez brothers because news just broke like less than an hour ago. So we got.
Why are they being told to tell the truth? That they have they not told the truth before?
Which case are you talking about? I mean, that applies to every single one, I think. But which one are you
I know.
referring
Never
to?
mind. Just never mind.
Oh my God, cat, what? What?
Y'all are crazy with these pet possums.
Okay, cat, I would like you to expand if you would. in the
Don't get
chat.
y'all don't give anybody ideas in the chat. Everybody just chill. Let's just go right into these cases. Stop talking about pets
Beckham, calm down. This is my
and
channel.
like wildlife that needs to stay
Kat, feel free to
wildlife.
email me, thedandyafterdark@gmail.com, or DM me on Instagram. I would like more information. I think that's
I think it's
amazing.
illegal in some states to own a pet possum.
Beckham, you are such a downer. Why are you here? And I mean that with love. I mean that with love. And for anybody that is like tuning in tonight and has not ever been here, and you're like, Danny, you are so mean to him. No, 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 I'm not. Go back to the Ask Us Anything that me, Beckham, and Paul from the Paulcast did last week. And I gave them compliments where compliments are due. And yeah, and I think I
This
did a
is
good
our
job
this is the
explaining.
third show this week, dude.
I
It's like,
have
why
done
am
a
I
lot
tired?
this
I was
week.
like, why am I tired? That's what it's why. That's why.
And I did, well, I
Did,
did an
did you do
episode.
your own show?
I did the Ask Us Anything. I did the Paul.
Yeah, that
We
was
did an
Monday.
episode on the Paulcast.
That was Wednesday.
I have this Tuesday night. I did a recording episode for Zach with Zach Kopp from Camp Elasticity Productions. So that should be when Zach posts it, I'll let y'all know. So it is like night after night after night. I have been busy with YouTube. And then also next Saturday the 19th is the it is the 19th, right? Let me double check. I'm 99% sure it is.
Go for it,
Yes, next
Shelly.
Saturday the
Shelly,
19th.
go for it. You can take my
Book
place.
club.
Go for it.
Book club. Weird scenes in the canyon. So definitely, yeah, check that out. Just
Where's
scroll.
Paulcast tonight? Where's the Liz tonight?
Paulcast. I've already talked to Paul, Liz. Actually, I've talked about Paul and Liz already today. People have lives unlike us, Beckham. Me and you just want to, it's a Friday night. People are out, but we're having the good time. We're having the good time talking about true crime and Lori Vallow. All right. The Horn Gang is
I don't
tuned.
think Lori Vallow. I think she
ITJC.
thinks she's too much. She's just too much. She doesn't really know that she's not. I can't wait for you to play with the waitress told her.
Oh yeah, we're gonna play that several times. Okay, Kat. It was a tiny baby at first.
Capone, why do you like it? Tell me why in the chat.
I hit his
Give me a
mom
paragraph.
when I was 16.
Give me
Oh,
5 sentences of why
he's
you like the
still
book.
alive. I had him
Hey,
3 years.
Paul's here. Paul, jump on up.
Paulcast. Paul, you have the link if you want to jump up, but he's not jumping up tonight.
I know, I'm just messing with
Kat,
you.
oh my God, that sucks that you hit his mom with your car, but that's amazing that you raised and kept the possum. Oh my
So I
God,
guess he went into the wild after 3 years.
I want a baby possum now. I love that book. Fuck the haters. Capone, I did not give. I have my notes. I'm working on it. I have not finished reading. Who can say what we'll see. But I definitely have some opinions.
I think that hint of like F off was more towards Paul.
I approve. I completely approve. And by sick, do you mean Paul is still on summer break? Then yes, Chris James. Hey, Zach, I'm on a train somewhere in Utah. Well, happy travels, Zach. And yeah, I was
Dude,
just
you
plugged the book
look,
club.
hey Watson, you want a wolf that's gonna tear your head off once it like turns like like 3.
Paul, calm down, calm down. No, that book's. We will get into it's going to be a book review.
Oh,
Y'all will
Karen with the comment. I'm not Karen Kane.
know that book sucked. They're close to Oh God, I hope they bring back the saber-toothed
They should,
tigers.
dude. They should like clone me, and then maybe I can transfer myself.
Hey Renee, I don't know if you just heard what Beckham said. Beckham,
Hey, Renee.
if you were cloned and there, Paul, somebody who understands my pain, if Beckham was cloned and there was more Beckhams,
The world
Let's
would be a
just say
better
there would be a
place.
lot of ladies walking around in t-shirts.
The world would be a better place. I know that.
I beg to differ. I beg to differ. All right. All right. No, he was too tame and imprinted to tame. He was very as an adult.
It would be able to carry you, James? How big is this wolf supposed to be?
Paul, I just said that. There would be a lot of t-shirts out if Beckham were cloned. Also, the sales on scented candles would be through the roof. Paul, I'm going to give that a
No
star.
tariffs. Hey, no tariffs on candles that smell like Seacrest and fur. What's that? A fur one I use? The forest
Forest
fur.
fur.
Forest fur. Yeah.
All right, I'm going back. I'm going back. Kat, I'm giving you a star too for having a pet possum because that's amazing. All right, let's rip.
Dude, it's supposed to be 7 feet. Hey, do you know what they're talking about, Danny, real quick? About the wolf?
7 foot long.
The wolf. The
No.
wolf has like been extinct for 10,000 years, and it's like all white, and it looks pretty cool, but it's this huge animal, and they cloned two of them successfully after being extinct for 10,000 years off of fossils found somewhere, which is amazing in its own description. So that's
Hmm.
why I was asking, well, how big is this wolf supposed to be? 7 feet. Like, imagine 7 feet. Like, it's pretty.
Capone, I'm giving you a star for that. That's pretty good. Oh shoot, I just gave a star to the Paulcast. Yeah, we got to take that one away. That's not happening. All right, y'all, let's just rip the band-aid off. Lori Vallow Daybell. Lori Vallow is the wife of who?
Chad Daybell.
Thank you. I didn't think you were going to do it. So the trial started this week. And wow, if any of you guys are, I did not call in sick every day this week. I didn't call in sick at all. Tempted, but I didn't. Because this is a trial. You got to watch it. You got to watch it. But it's available on YouTube. You
Renee's
can go
like, the
back and watch
trial.
it.
I don't know whether Renee's saying cringe to Chad Daybell's name or
Oh, no, no, no.
like
Oh,
the
she's saying
trial.
cringe to Lori Vallow.
The trial part.
Yep. Yep. Renee, I was hoping you were going to be here tonight. So Lori Val, okay, again, there's so much that happened. It's hard. I have a lot of notes, but it's hard to condense it. So if I'm missing a thing or two, my apologies. There's just so much, like so much. So Lori Vallow Daybell gave a short and tearful, tearful opening statement in an Arizona courtroom this week. She told the jury that she didn't conspire to kill her estranged husband, Charles Vallow, for his $1 million life insurance policy, as prosecutors alleged. Quote, as the state has mentioned, they are alleging that insurance money was my motive. Spouses having insurance policies is not a crime. Self-defense is not a crime. A family tragedy is not a crime. It's a tragedy. End quote. She goes on to say, quote, the evidence will show that after the struggle on the ground between Charles and Alex, that Charles prevailed with the bat and began to come towards me with the bat as I ran away from him into the kitchen. The evidence will show that at some point while I was running away from Charles, who was chasing me with a bat, that Alex apparently retrieved his gun, end quote. The prosecutors, during their opening statements, stated that Lori wanted Charles dead for his insurance policy money to marry her fifth husband. And who was that, Beckham?
Chad Daybell.
That one was a little lackluster, but that's all right. We'll go with it. For, again, an author of religious doomsday books, The Storm. I've not yet heard The Storm. I guarantee we'll hear The Storm on this, but
I don't think
nonetheless.
people know what you're talking about.
Beckham, why don't you tell them what The
No,
Storm is?
I don't know the whole story. I just don't know. I just know it's not a
You go, you know
thunderstorm.
good and damn well what The Storm is. You just don't want to say it.
I don't know what it is.
Yes, you do. Beckham.
I swear I don't. But you can cover it.
Mm.
Because people were like,
So,
"What storm? Like a thunderstorm, a snowstorm, an ice? What are you talking
Beckham,
about?"
you are so full of shit. Just tell them what the storm
I
is.
don't know what it is.
So, mm, the prosecutor said, quote, she would get $1 million life insurance policy from Charles Vallow. She would get Social Security for herself and their son JJ as a child of a dead spouse. And all of this would be true if Charles Vallow was dead, end quote. The prosecutors also said, quote, Lori Vallow wanted to keep the same lifestyle that she had with Charles, and she could get all of this if Charles was dead. She could marry Chad Daybell, become Lori Daybell. She would get $1 million life insurance policy from Charles Vallow, end quote. All right. So again, there's a lot to talk about tonight. Let's do a quick pause here. Opening statements. What do you think?
Well, I just know that it took a while to get through them.
Yes, it did. What do you think of Lori's tears?
I've come to learn that some people can make themselves cry on a moment, and on a whim. So I don't know. I don't know if it's true. I don't know if it's real or not. So she could be playing everybody with that. I'm not sure. But definitely she saw something, saw an example of something, and presented her case based on what she's probably seen, um, or read about, because it was just the same verbiage over and over and over.
Mm-hmm.
So,
So remember with her
and it
first trial,
wasn't very appealing to anybody.
no.
Like it wasn't like any. There was no. There it was. There was no substance. If you're gonna defend yourself, you want there to be substance and something to really stand on, right? So a
Mm-hmm.
description, something like moving, maybe like a moving, somebody that can definitely deliver a moving speech, right? You
Yeah.
definitely want some substance so that it lingers in the juror's mind, right? So that, oh
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I remember that, or something. There was none of that. It was more of a just a it was like a it just kept going. It was like a God, what do you call it when you're hearing the same? It's just on something on
Monotone?
repeat. Yeah, that and on repeat, and it was just like there was too much disruption. There was too much with the objections from the prosecutor and the judge
Oh, we
having
haven't
to.
even gotten to that.
Oh well, that's what you're telling me. Okay, sorry. So
Yeah, just
yeah,
the
so it was.
opening.
Yeah, so it was just
I think the prosecutors did a great job. I think Lori, yeah. All right, y'all in the chat you're already on the same page as I am. The tears, I don't believe, and a lot of reporters and other podcasters, content creators, I've been noticing their, you know, eh, feeling about the tears is they're pretty much there seems to be a mix of are they real? Who
it's not
knows?
authentic. Yeah, I think
And
somebody even said that in the chat.
fake.
Is it authentic? I'm not sure. Some people can make themselves cry on point, or appear sad or something. Man, some people just have that ability to. I can't do it, but some people can. And
So
it's and
Beckham
it's
doesn't know how to fake it. Okay, so we've established that. Thank you.
no, it's real.
Um,
It's real.
just ask anybody with a T-shirt. No, I'm just kidding. Just kidding. But one of the things that with the first trial is she didn't really show much emotion. So I think this was her way of me maybe trying to show emotion. I doubt it read as genuine to the jury.
You just me think
But if they were real tears, they were for herself,
you
but I
made me
don't
just
think they
think of
were real.
something. There wasn't there like an '80s song, just emotion, emotion. I don't know. It made me think of something. Never mind.
I don't know what you're singing.
It
Yeah,
sounded
so
like you were singing for a second.
let's see what y'all are saying. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? K Dog said a judge should be able to just stop it and get her an attorney. She chose to represent herself, K Dog. She has some attorneys because given to her so that they're underneath her. She chose to represent herself. And the judge, again, made and she wanted this fast trial. Even though, she was, I don't have what I need from the prosecutor. Like, there was all this back and forth shit. And the judge was like, do you know what you're getting yourself into? And she's, yep, yep, yep. she's the smartest person in the room. She really thinks we already heard her interview a couple weeks ago when she said her and Chad will be released and acquitted and whatnot, and she's going to be on Dancing with the Stars. Lord help us all.
I got it. It's Lost in Emotion by Lisa and the Cult
Oh
Jam.
my God, I love Okay, that's who
That's
I
what it
thought,
sound-
except your
that's what
version
it
was
sounded like you were
Lost.
saying for that like 2-second moment. Lost
Lisa. Oh man.
Lisa and the Cult Jam, dude.
She has some real good hits. That band's so good. Renee,
Oh,
notice
that's
how
right,
they
because
have
you go
not
to the
brought up
'80s.
the kids.
You go to the '80s prom dance concert
The
thingy.
year before I went, Lisa and the Cult Jam
No, for
performed.
real? That's
Yes, I was so bummed I missed that.
oh man,
So
that would have been
bummed.
an experience for sure.
Yeah, and I think the year before that was Rick Springfield. I was
Mm. How'd they pull that off? He's the number phone guy, right?
eight six
Five.
seven five three zero nine.
Yeah,
No,
that's. Oh, never mind. I thought that was the same guy.
nope. Yeah, no, they get 80s former pop stars or pop bands every single year. Oh my God, so much fun. Yeah. Um, yeah, Renee, they haven't. They have not, as of yet, brought up the dead kid. Well, except until yesterday. Um, yeah, she wanted to represent herself. You guys are still talking about wolves. That's fine. Linda, in regards to Lori, fake as fuck. Renee, she cries and
If
looks up at the jury to make sure they see it. Yes.
like if I saw her crying, I would probably believe it because I'm just whatever, I don't know.
Mm, yeah, well, crocodile tears. Crocodile rock. Rock. Oh my God.
Crocodile, you say? Crocodile, you say?
Let's see. Da, da, da. Emotions, Mariah Carey. Nope, not exactly. Danny, I think she's doing it all. I 100% agree with you, Linda. I just think she knows the writings. It's obvious the writings on the wall for this. But like again, you're choosing, and then she's probably going to be like, "Oh, ineffective counsel." Like, really?
I would like to prove. I would like. How do I want to know how she? I forgot how she said it, but she just kept saying it over and over and over.
Yeah.
I would like to for the however she put it.
Well, let's carry on because there's a lot more. So, prosecuting attorney Trina Kate had stated a number, and when I say a number, Beckham, of objections to
Was
Lori.
it a record? Was it a record
I wish
for
I
that
could.
county? It might have been a record for the county, maybe the state, but I don't know ever. But not ever. But it could have been a record for the county.
It would, I mean, if we turned it into like a drinking game,
That's what
Lord
somebody
help
said
us
the other
all.
night on the news channel. Somebody's like, "Well, if you guys want to do a drinking game and pay attention to the
Did
ballot."
they?
Yes, it was on a. It was. I heard it was on a sports. I'm sorry, on a news channel
Oh man,
show.
that's wild. It was just like, yeah, the prosecutors are not holding back, which they shouldn't. They shouldn't at all. But it's just so funny. So Lori kept repeating herself, and it's one thing to keep in mind. So
God,
the judge
man,
is not going to
we
treat Lori
missed out.
differently.
We
They're
missed
holding
out.
her to the same standard as any other attorney who's out there practicing law. So Lori will not get any favors or breaks if she doesn't know the law.
She should have gotten Casey Anthony.
She's available. Casey Anthony is available. Oh, actually, no. She's advocating for kids.
What?
Advocating for That's one of her groups she's advocating for is for children. According to that video, she said it herself. Renee, her snarky little comments were so awful. I know. And I got audio of one of them. Renee, I got audio of one of them. And we're going to listen to it. So prosecutor Trina K objected 4 times throughout Lori Vallow's opening statement. Keep in mind, there's still been a lot of objections. Lori's family took the stand. a little bit later in the week, and they did not speak favorably of her at all. Hey, Sadie. So let's start with Kay Woodstock, and then we'll pause and then carry on. So Kay Wood, did you say Woodstock? I think I did.
No, I don't think so. But I just
Kay Woodcock. So that is Charles Vallow's younger sister. So Charles Vallow is Lori's husband before Chad Daybell. Charles Vallow was killed. He was shot and killed. So Kay Woodcock, again, Charles Vallow's younger sister, so Lori's former sister-in-law, testified that she was at a nail salon with her granddaughter when she got the call from her brother's youngest son that informed her that her brother Charles was dead. Kay testified that during the July 12th, 2019 phone call, her nephew told her that he had learned of his father's death from his stepmother, Lori Daybell, and it was through a text message. That we knew from the last trial, but again, still being said. So Kay thought, something's wrong. This can't be true. So Kay and her husband searched Charles' name online, and that's when they did find that, in fact, he was killed, but he'd also been killed by Lori's brother, Alex Cox. Kay says, quote, "It was horrible. I had to call my siblings and let them know, and everybody was freaked out. I didn't know what to do," end quote. Kay was unable to reach Lori initially after calling and texting her, but then Lori responded saying she was busy. Quote, "She was too busy to even call his family to say that he was dead by her brother killing him," end quote. So Kay traveled to Arizona the next day, mostly to check on her grandson, Joshua JJ Vallow. Quote, "I didn't know what he had seen. I didn't know what he knew. I knew it wasn't good," end quote. Kay said she never saw JJ after his father's death. She knew that Lori had something to do with his murder. When Lori found out that Charles had changed the beneficiary of his life insurance policy or life insurance plan, so Lori was not the beneficiary anymore. It was his sister, Kay. Lori and Kay's conversation ended, and then Kay received a text from Lori asking if that was why she wanted custody of JJ. Keep in mind, Lori didn't even want custody of her son, JJ. Quote, "It made no sense. I want JJ, period. That was a dumb statement by her," end quote, that Kay said on the stand. When asked on cross-examination by Lori, so yes, Lori on cross-exam had to ask questions of her former sister-in-law. Lori asked Kay if she knew what was happening on July 11th, 2019, the morning Charles died. And Kay said, quote, "No, I didn't, because you didn't tell me," end quote. When Lori asked Kay if she had seen, heard, or witnessed her conspiring with her brother Alex Cox to kill her husband, Kay said, quote, "No, but I saw a ton of evidence," end quote. All right. Beckham, thoughts on Kay Woodcock, Charles Vallow's sister, testifying?
well, I mean, she kind of just spoke on what was there, what happened. So it's almost like she got Lori caught in a miscue there within her own thought, within her own questioning.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, it's
Yeah, we all saw that
uh,
coming.
right, huh? And I mean, I think again, there's so much law and policy, whatever, right? It takes, and I actually heard this from another lawyer. Uh, talk about you gotta. It takes experience. Yeah, you get to law school and everything, but it takes experience to know what's going on, right? Just like anything, you gotta know the room, know your case, know your notes, know what your strategy. All of that condensed in that single moments, right? To
Mm-hmm.
where I mean, it's she's in over her head, and it's shown.
A
I
little
mean, of
bit.
course, we know that, and it's gonna. I mean, and for her not to understand, like I don't. It just some for people that believe they can do it themselves without any experience, without knowing anything like that. It's just mind boggling. Boggling to me.
Well, they think they're the smartest people in the room.
Yeah, that's it's just gonna show that, and it's just like
So Lori wussed out against Kay. I was worried she would torture her up there. It's the first time she's been face to face with her talking.
yeah, but she
Yeah.
just yeah, but she doesn't know what she's yeah. Somebody experienced might have been able to do that. She does. There's she's over. There's too much going on. She doesn't know. She's not confident to do that. There's no confidence there. She just doesn't.
I mean, Lori could have gone harder, but she didn't. And
On what? On personal vengeance? On personal like? I mean, what? You're gonna know when you're being professional about a situation, and or when it's just straight out like straight
I,
out just.
yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Lori gave more of an attitude to the woman in the clip that we're going to play in a little bit. That's what I mean. I think I
Yeah.
expected Lori to be more defiant. That's the word I'm looking
Okay,
for.
that's a good word. Okay, I
Yeah,
got you.
that's what I expected because she hates Kay. Right,
Right. Right. Yeah, that's
right.
what I'm. Yeah.
I
But
thought, yeah, I agree with you,
I
Renee,
just think she's
completely.
overwhelmed. But
Okay, Beckham, trial started Monday. Well, today's Friday, but there wasn't court today. If she's overwhelmed, it's 4 days in.
oh,
Which you're
I'm sure
right,
she.
she
I'm
might
sure
be.
she. I'm sure she is. She's more overwhelmed.
She signed up for it.
She's confused. She's like, man, like what? What? She's thinking, did I do this? This is what's happening with her own mind, with her own head.
What do
Did
you
I
think?
do this right? Should I have done this? She's questioning what she did, and it's just all mangled in her own thoughts. Because again, and it's gonna become really heavy on her, and it's gonna show. She should have had a lawyer.
Listen.
Just
Well, she
saying.
has lawyers underneath
Well,
her
I
that
mean,
are
I'm saying she
assisting.
should have had somebody talking for her, like you're doing everything, doing
Right,
the proceedings and everything. That's what I'm saying.
right. I respectfully disagree. I don't think she's sitting here saying, "Oh man, what did I get myself into?" I think she's still if she was smart going into this weekend, she would say to the
Can she
attorneys
tag
under
off?
her, "I bit off more than I can chew."
Can she tag? Can she tag off?
I don't know how that works. I don't know how that works either way. But she could take
Can
their
she
advice.
tag off? Like here, it's like a tag, like tag team wrestling. You know, you tag. You're like here, I'm you gotten beat up too much. Here's a tag. Tag
Who's
me in.
back?
Tag me out. Bam.
Um, I think going into next week, if her approach changes, or if then we'd be able to tell. You know what? She got a talking to by the attorneys that are
Yeah, or
assisting her, and
advice.
she's
Yeah.
changing her tactic. I
What
don't
if
think
she
that
did?
will happen.
But what if she doesn't take the advice? That's the thing.
That's the thing. I don't think she's gonna. But so Kay was not the only family member on the stand. Adam Cox, so Lori's other brother, testified in court. So if anybody's wondering who's not familiar with the case, I'll just talk about Alex, Lori's brother Alex shooting and killing Charles Vallow. Why isn't he? For those who don't know, so Alex Cox is dead as well. So he can't testify. Okay, there's a legit cat fight on my cat tower right now. Like, seriously? Kitties. So Adam Cox, Lori's other brother, testified in court. He said when he found out that Charles Vallow was killed, there was no doubt in his mind that she, Lori, and their brother Alex had killed him. Adam testified that he was separated from Lori and other family members when he started to question Lori's religious beliefs, and later sharing his belief that he thought that she was involved in her husband at the time, Charlie's death. Quote, Lori told me that she was in the process of being translating from a mortal human to being to another. Sorry, let me reread that. Lori told me that she was in the process of being translating from a mortal human being to an immortal human being, a celestial state, end quote. Lori's shit with like, it's just crazy. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. Hello, Milky. So Adam initially said that he just listened to Lori's strange beliefs, but when she asked him if she's crazy, like, brother, do you think I'm crazy? He told her, quote, I don't know if you're crazy, but what you're telling me is not true. It's not real, end quote. He and his sister Lori stopped talking after that. Adam testified that he spoke with his brother Alex about their shared belief that Lori was having an affair with Beckham.
Chad Daybell.
Better. So Lori
Eventually.
purchased a plane ticket for Adam to come to Arizona on July 10th, 2019, the day before Charles was killed, so that they could do some sort of intervention, and that Charles told him he still loved his wife, Lori. Quote, it seemed like Charles was just desperate, and he wanted to do anything he could to just this last ditch effort to try to shake Lori loose of whatever was under some spell, end quote. Adam then said when he spoke to his brother Alex about staying with him on July 9th, 2019, everything was fine to stay there. But when Adam arrived in Arizona the next day, his brother Alex ghosted him. So Adam ended up staying with his parents instead. On the morning of July 11th, 2019, Adam said he heard from Lori that Alex was at Chad's house, and he knew right away something was off. He didn't learn about his brother in law's death until a friend searched his name online 2 days later. Adam said knowing Alex had killed Charles made him think his world was coming apart. He stood up for Charles, despite that causing damage to his relationships with other family members. So, now we get to the point of Adam being on the stand and Lori now having to cross examine him. Again, that is Lori's brother. And Lori says, quote, Mr. Cox, did you see or hear or personally witness me conspire with my brother Alex Cox to murder my husband Charles Vallow? Adam said no, but he believed that she had. Quote, Lori had told people that Charles was no longer living, that some guy named Ned was inside of his body, and that there's a zombie living inside of him. And Alex didn't respond to any of my text messages when I was supposed to be with him. And he was at that house that morning. Lori talking crazy about how she's a translated being. All these things all added up to that moment and that morning, end quote. So, pause there. What do you think about Lori's brother Adam on the stand?
I don't know. I mean, it's this is almost very. This can be confusing as like it's really a spin on a lot of relationships, and you're throwing in like bodies not belonging to bodies and zombies and the spirits and all this. I don't know. I mean, it's crazy. Oh man, I think everybody's just trying to stay clear away from everything.
Well, I mean, there's no love lost between Adam and his sister Lori. That's for sure.
Yeah, it's just
Yeah. Hey, Mr. Jinx. Hey, Charlie. Yeah, it was just we expected it. We expected Adam to not speak highly of Lori, but I think he was very well composed on the stand. I mean, if you think about it, he got ostracized from his family because he basically kind of took Charlie Vallow's side, even though Charlie was killed, saying this isn't right. Like Lori might have had something to do with this, and
it's a lot of this.
confiding in the brother Alex, hey, Lori's having an affair with Chad Daybell. I think she's having an affair.
Yeah, but then you throw in the religions, the cult stuff, and it's just like all like
Yeah,
they wanted to do some sort of what do you call it? I don't know. Where you're
an
just
intervention.
yeah
Yeah.
or something so it's
Hey, well, yeah, it's just this whole family's ripped apart because of one person. Well, not just one, Lori. It takes Lori and Chad, but Lori being so selfish and wanting, think this whole entire family is destroyed. Just absolutely destroyed. There are so many, everybody that gets
there's
in
too many
Lori
turns
Vallow's
in this,
life
dude.
ends up dead.
There's so many things involved in this. There's so many turns, and
Hmm. It's, yeah,
I don't even know how you can keep up with this
I,
case.
I, oh,
Well, like didn't we talked about Chad last year, right?
hmm. No, if you want someone who's caught up, Renee,
Renee.
Renee, I Renee's Renee, I honestly tried to do my best in the like it was yes, she was
It's a lot,
offended
man.
that her brother Adam didn't remember her chicken enchiladas.
There's a
True,
lot to this. There's a lot to this case. I
true.
mean,
Renee, I'm giving that a star. And on the one hand, it's hilarious, but on the other hand, it's like this was really brought up on the stand and at the trial. Yeah, Lori was offended about the chicken enchiladas.
Charlie, I think that's an understatement.
She is a nut job, my professional opinion. I'm right there with, yeah. Linda, at Danny, at the end of the day, two beautiful kids are dead and someone needs to pay.
That's another Yeah, that's another part of it.
100%.
Right. There's
That's
the
not what this trial is.
I
She was,
know that was the
but
other one, right? That's the other.
yeah,
Right. Yeah, I remember that going
but
on.
everything's intertwined. Like
Right. That's
every
why this is
death is connected.
right.
Colby was there. I know, Renee. I
Who?
know. Oh my God. Danny started her.
Who's
Yeah,
Kobe?
James. Yeah, about 45 minutes ago. Welcome.
Who's Kobe?
So there were other people who took the stand. Again, there's so much to it. Serena Sharp, a woman who said she met Lori through a mutual friend while attending a religious preparedness conference, she took the stand. She testified. She talked about how Lori's religious beliefs that Lori had shared with her were, quote, shocking, end quote. Other testimony, but you kind of get the gist. As Renee mentioned, so Colby, who is Lori's oldest child and actually only remaining child, he was there. And the sweetest moment, but the saddest moment too, was Colby hugged Kay Woodcock when she returned to her seat at the end of the day's proceedings. It was just like, oh, because we've heard about, Colby's really kind of not so good anymore, understandably, relationship with his, with Lori. And just to see him and Kay,
Yeah.
it was just such a moment. And you know what? I hope that was a big slap in the face F you to Lori. Like, I don't know. Lori's just all about herself, so I don't think so. But he loved his sibling. Oh my gosh, yes, he loved. There's phone calls when he talked to her from jail, and you can hear the audio. You can find it online. Renee's absolutely right, and he's just so upset. He just had a second child. He's just with that kid. He's a grown man now, but yeah, yeah, Colby, my heart breaks. Hey, William Eddy, you've got to do the Austin Metcalf murder case. Thank you for the recommendation. I saw the thing on Netflix. Isn't her whole family kind of nutty? No, not everyone. Not everyone. There are good family members, but like Chad, Alex Cox, clearly some of the other families members who weren't involved in the murders but supported Lori through all of this, and yeah, basically outcasted Adam. Ugh. So they were all in a Mormon cult. So yes. Well, okay, never
It's
mind.
a cult. It's a cult, Danny.
I
It's weird.
know. I'm still.
It's weird. They're talking about zombies and taking
But
over
not
bodies
like
and
Kelly
spirits and
Woodcock. Like, I know that's Charles' sister, but like she's a good-hearted person. Colby is a good-hearted person. There are some good-hearted people in this, so that's why I'm not saying everyone, but Renee is correct. I hate saying I'm wrong, so I'm just saying Renee is correct. She's not a more right. Correct. Okay, I'm wrong. Danny's wrong. Beckham, take one for the books. So, all
you
right.
can say that more often when I'm around.
Oh, God, no, you're always in the wrong. Before you even speak, you're in the wrong. All right, let's pull up this audio clip. So, there was a witness that took the stand, and it got a little, her Nancy Jo Hancock. So, she had gone, I don't know, like, the
Charles was
exact.
crazy himself to marry this chick.
Charles converted to marry her. Yeah, that makes sense.
Is she bipolar by any chance?
It's tough. Okay, here's the thing. I'm very conflicted. There's definitely some type of mental illness. She is not in touch with reality. The thing is, at this point, like, you could get the prosecutors to like get 5 different doctors to say one thing, and then the defense could get 5 different doctors to say another thing. You know what I mean? All right, so yeah, back to Nancy Jo Hancock, who took the stand. So basically, Lori was, how would you describe it? Lori was just, she seemed like she was being petty in her like interrogation.
Yes, it became personal rather than
Oh yeah,
professional.
it was
That's what
very
I'm
personal.
right.
And Lori was just like, "Well, didn't you spend the afternoon talking about
Right,
me and
right.
learning everything about me?" And this woman basically says, "Don't flatter yourself on the stand." Oh, it was amazing. Let me.
Renee says she was deemed competent.
Right, but that doesn't mean she doesn't
She's
have
deemed.
like a diagnosis of like bipolar or
Yeah, that's true because she could have
antisocial
three. She could
personality
have like
disorder or
6
something.
personalities.
Yeah. Why is my audio?
All the details of our lives. I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I know. So you spent your whole date getting to know each other, talking about me. Don't flatter yourself. No, we did not spend the whole time talking about you. You knew a lot about me, right? I knew what I've testified to. Told you all the details of our lives.
Again.
I'm telling you the truth, and that's what I know. So you spent your whole date getting to know each other, talking about me. Don't flatter yourself. No, we did not spend the whole time talking
Don't
about you.
flatter yourself.
You knew a lot about me, right? I knew what I've testified to. Told you.
All right. All right, Beckham, what do you think?
I don't know. James Watson says she's possibly 6 personalities, that he'd love one. um, it's too. It's like what's like Renee said. It's too cringy. It's too. It's like she's personally attacking her. It's not professional. It doesn't.
Spot on.
You know. No.
Spot on, Beckham. Yeah, Renee, this woman was awesome. Oh, totally. Like she was calm and composed on the stand and slipping that little comment. Oof. And like Lori took the bait. She took the bait and was just like, well, yeah.
Hey, Auntie Mimi.
Hey, Mimi. Yeah, little Milky. Narciss. Oh my God. Full narcissist. Yes, both of you. Days of Our Lives. It is a freaking soap opera.
This is crazy case, man.
Linda, she's one cold bitch. Yeah. It was the way she was interrogating, or that's not the right word, cross-examining the witness. It was very like high school, middle school, like you spent your time talking about me. Like that's what it was. Like what the hell? But it was hilarious.
It's good for entertainment purposes, but not for any professionalism as far as the case goes.
No. Oh man.
If you want to sit back and laugh at it, go right ahead.
The hand, what is Lil Milky saying? The hand that rocks the cradle levels of narcissism. Well, sad.
Hey, Wolf.
So, all right, that was a lot of information. Obviously, there will be more next week. If there's anything I missed, again, I really tried to cram a lot of what happened. It's cringy. As Renee said, and as Beckham pointed out, what Renee said, it's cringy. I would say go sit and watch the whole thing. You can find the whole every day on YouTube. Be warned, you're gonna like some of those moments where Lori speaks and you're just like, oh, it's just you're gonna have a lot of those. Be warned, you're gonna have a lot of those. Has that ever been said in any courtroom ever? Right. Look at Renee, not missing a moment. Oh my God. Renee, you need to like you need to break this down. Have something like go live on Instagram or something and be like, here's today's recaps. You need, oh my God, I would tune in. I would tune in for sure. I would just stop watching and I'd be like, Renee, just tell me. My stomach is in knots watching Lori make a fool of herself every damn day.
She just needs to bring the right people, and that could be, what's her name?
Casey Anthony. Oh my God. Beckham. All right. It was funny the first time. Now you're really trying to get Casey Anthony some business and it's pissing me off.
I'm just saying she needs all the help she can get.
I agree with that. You know what? I agree with that. All right, let's throw in this true
And
crime update.
before we go to what are you gonna throw in?
Just the one thing, it broke like an hour before we went live.
About
The
this
Menendez
case?
brothers.
Oh wait, well okay, go ahead.
It's just all that broke was that their resentencing is set for April 17th and 18th. So a judge ruled that their resentencing will be set for the 17th.
What
and
if they
18th.
are set free?
Hmm?
Can they be set free?
I don't think so. Who knows? Who knows? But we'll keep y'all posted next week. So that's it. It was just that breaking news. All right, Beckham, what do you want to get to next?
Let's just see. Really, let's talk some Kohlberger.
All right. So a couple
Let's bring that beginning of the show energy back around for this one.
No. Well, to be fair, people came in the chat and we're all fired up about Lori and Lori Vallow. Understandable. But Brian Kohlberger, every week. And there was a lot this week. There was a lot that was this week. World's longest hearing ever. Oh my God, I know. So first thing, Joshua D. Hurwitz, a former United States attorney for Idaho, will represent the state of Idaho in the case against Brian Kohlberger. He will serve as a special deputy prosecuting attorney for Ladog County. So that's the first update. There was also an evidence motion hearing this week, and Judge Hippler, which I think is a really, really cool name. So Judge Hippler made decisions on some Hippler.
Like Hitler.
Like your hip, your hippie, Hippler.
That's not a word, but okay.
Beckham. This is not, you know what? Be a doll and get me a coffee because I'm in withdrawal.
I was going to say, I think you're in withdrawal of coffee.
If anybody saw my post on,
speaking of coffee,
I did it on the Daily After Dark Instagram. I stocked up on a bunch of tea, and they're like cat themed teas. I mean,
are they good?
Yes, so good. In my little true crime mug at work because your girl's got to kick the Starbucks habit, and I'm doing good. It's hard as hell. I want a damn iced caramel macchiato like you wouldn't believe, but I'm transitioning to tea. So yeah, well I have been, and but I stocked up and I bought a lot, and I posted a picture with all of it, and Beckham's like, "What the heck is this?"
What kind of flavors of tea do you have? Do you remember?
Oh, one was a pumpkin spice. There was one that was like a berry chamomile.
Is there one that gives you energy during the day? Because I asked you how many you drink while at work.
2. Just whenever I need it.
Like a green tea?
No, they're not a green tea. It's just a bunch of different ones. But
they're just fun teas then,
But they have cats on. It's like the front label had cats, of course. But no, the containers are actually big. The picture I took didn't do it justice. But no, it's tea is my got it healthier. Anyway, so I don't know how the hell we even got into that. Oh, Hippler. And I told you to be a doll. So anyway, so Judge Hippler made decisions on some motions, others he will decide later on in writing. So the defense is trying to strike the death penalty as a potential punishment due to, and what they're saying is, Kohlberger's diagnosis of autism, and the defense is claiming the prosecutors have missed key discovery deadlines. Kohlberger, what are you doing?
I'm getting myself a coffee.
I heard the microwave. So Kohlberger's defense attorney Ann Taylor cited the Lori. The Lori Vallow Daybell case. Let's repeat that. Kohberger's defense attorney Ann Taylor cited the Lori Vallow Daybell case where the court threw out the death penalty over missed deadlines. However, the judge had none of it. And the judge stated that Kohberger waived his right to a speedy trial and asked defense attorney Taylor why she hadn't raised the issue months ago or requested more resources, like a half dozen other paralegals to help her go through discovery. So that judge put it right back on her. Deputy Leda County Prosecutor Ashley Jennings denied defense attorney Taylor's accusations that the prosecutors were slow walking discovery and said that everything the defense has asked for has been provided. The funny part of that was defense attorney Taylor had to concede that in front of the judge. So she was basically called out on her shit and had to be like, yeah, you're right. Regarding Kohberger's alibi. Remember, his alibi that took months and months and months for it to come out, and then it finally came out, and it was he was driving around looking at the stars, which is something Paul from the Paulcast would do. Mr. Beckham would do. I don't believe it when Kohberger says that's what he was doing. Any comment, Beckham?
He could be. I mean, I don't. He could have been doing it. It's possible. I mean,
No, he could not have, because according to what was some type of weather report that went back to that night, it was cloudy.
but still, you could still see the stars.
No, you can't. I'm sticking to what the weatherman said. So anyway, the prosecutors argued that that alibi cannot be corroborated by anybody other than the defendant himself, so Kohberger. Leda County prosecuting attorney Bill Thompson made it clear the I'm driving around and looking at stars is not an alibi. Judge Hippler asked the defense attorneys, quote, who is going to say he was out driving around looking at the stars, end quote. The defense attorney Taylor said her client has a right to remain silent. Quote, the question is whether you have a witness who is going to testify to that, the judge said in response. The judge also partly agreed to a defense motion to block prosecutors from using certain words. Murderer, psychopath.
Psycho, crazy person. What else? What other names are out there?
Sociopath, too.
Social, yeah.
So the judge said he does expect the rules of that to be followed. So it cannot be used during the trial, except it could be used by the defense or the prosecution during closing arguments. So, and it cannot be used unless an expert evaluation determines that they are accurately applying it to Kohberger. So, I'm pretty sure the prosecution in the state is going to find a medical expert to say he is one of those things, and it will be allowed on. I think we can see that coming. Couple more points. In regards to the defense wanting to keep out overuse of the crime scene photos, the judge is saying the murders were, quote, brutal and horrific, end quote, and the expected evidence will reflect that, so the photos can be showed. Defense attorney Taylor claimed the defense has uncovered a new lead regarding a potential alternate suspect and was investigating it, or them. No. There was really not much after that, but just that's what the defense is claiming. Defense attorney Taylor also said there are 100 hours of interviews with people who knew Kohberger from Washington State University. Remember, Beckham, we've been talking about that quite a bit. PhD candidate. And many of those interviews had, quote, unkind things to say about him, end quote. Why? I was shocked the defense attorney said that. You want to put your client in the best light forward. Why are you're just like, yeah, there's hundreds of hours. Nobody likes my client. Like,
wait, go back to the photos. Let's talk about that real quick.
Yeah.
Have you seen any?
Have I seen any?
Are they any out? Are there any online? Wait,
I've heard that some were leaked.
Okay, where? Reddit?
I will not go see them.
Is anybody on Reddit that has seen them in the chat?
Oh, I don't go on Reddit. I don't know.
I'm surprised you don't go on Reddit, but
I know I've never liked Reddit, and I think I'm the only person in the world that doesn't like Reddit. I don't know. I did hear that some got leaked. Whether they've gotten removed or not, I don't know. But there have been podcasts that are done that I listen to by people who are in the field, whose words I do take really seriously. It's not just like
So wait, what are they? I
random
mean, are
podcast.
they like?
That there were photos leaked.
Well, oh, okay.
They've said that there were
So they're
photos.
gonna. I mean, okay. So once they're presented in the case, then that's gonna be out. They'll be
Yes.
everywhere. Okay.
Well, I mean, some of them.
Well,
I
it's
don't.
just it's gonna.
We're not
Okay,
going to see
so
all of
the
the
only reason
photos.
the only reason I'm talking about. I mean, I don't want to see them, but they're gonna need to lay out the. How do I put it? How they're gonna have to go through the crime scene, right, with them and things like that. How one person, how really one person could have done it, type of thing.
But how are they going to
And
go through the crime scene, Beckham, when the house was torn
oh
down?
well, I mean, I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't know. I thought they were gonna have a simulation, but maybe not.
That's what is supposedly happened.
Oh,
It's
okay.
like there's
Well,
3D and 4D videos and stuff. And
right. Okay. Well, yeah. I'm pretty sure the defense will have to prepare for that, and I'm pretty sure they've had access to it, everything. So
Renee said they conceal those pictures.
yeah, of course, but people, it always gets out.
hmm How could one person do that?
Everybody's bad shit crazy on Reddit. I know. I've only gone to Reddit for Star Wars news. I don't stay. I
So
stay away
Beckham's
from
been
Reddit.
on Reddit, and everyone on Reddit's batshit crazy. Sounds accurate. How could one person do that and get in their own car and not leave evidence? Well, he had a head start until he was deemed to be a suspect, and he was seen meticulously cleaning his car. That's one argument, but people, depending on what side you're on. Or my mother took a tour of the Grand Canyon, and okay, I don't know what that's in relation to, but that is very cool.
Hitler. Back on Hitler.
Won't the forensic show it was or wasn't him? That's what I'm hoping. That's what I'm hoping. That's what kind of the state is putting forward, is like, hey, we will see. We will see. It's just, I don't know. There's so much about this. I don't know what that means, Zach. You say one thing, yeah, probably. But there's more that happened with Koberger, so let's carry on. Just lastly, prosecutors stated that they do not expect. So this might answer some of y'all's question. Prosecutors stated they do not expect any of the inconclusive DNA samples under victim Maddie Mogen's fingernails to belong to Koberger. The reason they state that is because they believe the attacker wore clothes to sufficiently cover himself up. So I know we've talked about this before a couple of weeks ago, Beckham, about the DNA under Maddie's fingernails, and that it was inconclusive to Koberger. So,
Are the pictures going to come back and basically show like one person really did this?
I don't have that answer,
Yeah,
Beckham.
no. I mean, I'm just thinking that. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we don't know everything, nor should we. The trial hasn't even happened.
Right.
I think there's going to be, I would like to hope that the state has a lot of damning evidence to bring this case the way they are. And we will see. And, the defense is going to fight tooth and nail. I know we've talked about it before a bunch of times in this chat in the past few weeks. Will Koberger take a plea deal? Maybe come the last minute, will he take a plea deal? I don't think so. I don't know, Beckham, what do you think?
No, I think they're gonna go all in. They're all in, all in. Who is gonna be the new suspects?
Right. That's the thing. It's not the defense's job to pin it on a certain person. They just have to give enough reasonable doubt so the jury, all it takes is one jury member to be like, you know what? It could have been someone else. Hung jury. Yeah, Charlie's saying, I bet no deal. I agree with you, Charlie. Absolutely. Zach, clarifying to my question, typo. It's a full moon. Beware of dire wolves. Love it. Love it. Zach is on a road trip adventure. Follow him on Instagram if you
Where's
are
he
not
going?
already. So, and
Where's
be
he
careful.
going, Danny?
That is not for me to Zach, if you would like to comment. Well, he did say
Yeah,
Utah.
he's in the
He typed
chat. I'm just
Utah
saying, where's he
earlier.
going?
He
Right.
typed Utah earlier. I do not dox people. So, Zach, if you want to say where your ventures are taking you, feel free. If not, you have provided us with Utah, and that is sufficient for me. Beckham is nosy and wants to know more. What can I say? What can I say? You know what, Beckham? Maybe Zach will tell you more if you come on come on show with us next Saturday and go over the book, because you have a big opinion on it.
Man, I mean, it's been so long ago that I read it. I was joking. I really don't remember it. I don't. I just give. Honestly, guys, I mean, it was it was fine, but it's been so long ago that we read it. I was just giving. I like giving Paul a hard time because he was
I do
adamant at
too.
the time, like, get the book, hurry, get the book so we can all read it together. And then I went and I signed up and got my one little token at the time, and I spent it on the book, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then like 2 days later, he's like, "Oh, forget about it, forget about it, forget about it." And that it's just a joke. It's more of an
I
inside
remember
joke.
it. I remember that. All right, so Zach is answering your question. San Francisco.
Nice.
I've never been, but I've always wanted to go. Um, Linda says, Kane, love my Dunkin' Donuts black coffee.
Yes, Charlie. You start looking at you start creating a lineage of potential hits, and you start venturing. Sometimes you start venturing off, trying to connect other things to
Charlie,
the
I
one
love your
thing you're
glass
trying to
half full
connect. You're trying to
attitude.
put together. You start.
No, this glass half full attitude I can appreciate. This Team Beckham stuff I do not appreciate. Um, so Linda, fun fact, I would say Dunkin' Donuts. Beckham never had Dunkin' Donuts munchkins until him and Shelly came to visit me.
They are
And
so. Oh, the powdered donut one is.
he had
That's
the
my favorite
sugar
dessert. That's like my favorite
powdered
dessert.
one. It's the only ones he had. No, the chocolate glazed are better. And then in the fall, the pumpkin ones.
I would rather have had that than the cannoli. What did we have that I didn't like at that
In
restaurant?
Boston. He didn't like cannolis from the
No.
Italian end of Boston.
Ugh, I just don't.
Oh,
You guys waited or somebody waited in line for those. There was a line for them or something,
yeah,
right?
there's two pastry places across the street from each other. Cash only. You wait in line over an hour.
Yeah.
I think the least amount of time I've ever spent one of those lines was like 45 minutes. It's just like cannolis with like any type of filling. It's Anyway, Virginia Woolf's. The guy was a teacher. Koberger. He must have been intelligent. Seems odd he would take his own car there. It doesn't seem logical to me. I hear what you're saying, but measures were taken in regards to, I mean, depending on if you are leaning towards if he did it, again, innocent until proven guilty, except in the mind of Danny After Dark, but that he turned his cell phone off and then turned it back
Hey,
on.
real
Yes.
quick too. Okay, so Sam's comment.
Oh, hey,
He
Sam.
asks a question. Okay, so I thought they ran the DNA, and because he's in the doctorate program, he probably had maybe he got his fingerprints in the database, right?
No,
And
no, no, that's not what happened.
so how did they come up? How did they get his name?
So he left his fingerprint on a knife sheath, and they got, from what I recall, they were able to get um, a match through like a
Oh,
DNA
the
match through like one
ancestry
of those like
thing.
ancestry type
Oh, it was a
things.
backward. See, to me, that's a backwards way. Okay.
So then they scoped out where he
Oh,
was,
now
and
they're starting to use those now. Yeah.
yeah, just like Rex Heerman.
Yeah.
That's the
Right.
Gilgo Beach killer. Yep. Alleged innocent until proven guilty, except in the mind of Danny After Dark. But yeah. So,
Because
that's
I was thinking,
basically
how
in a
did Kober
nutshell.
even like he wasn't in banking or he wasn't anywhere where he didn't do anything where a fingerprint would have needed to be in a database, right? You know how you go into the banking, you gotta get your fingerprints because you're dealing with money and securities and all kinds of stuff, right? Whatever.
Mhm.
Some jobs need them, so they request you get fingerprinted, and of course, once you get fingerprinted, that's in the database forever. That's in the actual.
Mhm.
There's a Charlie probably knows the name of it, the FBI database, but it's got a sub name. But um, anyway, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Maybe that's how they got it, but.
Look at Charlie. 23andMe turns into 23 and 1. Kane, I'm not a donut person. Whoa.
I mean, I'm kind of donuts are okay, but these little things are it's perfect, dude. They're just like you can just like munch, yeah, you can just munch on them, and they're just so
Oh,
good.
munchkins. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just perfect.
Yeah.
You can have like
Well,
3 and it's over, and that's it. You just hit. It's a quick hit, and it's over with.
well, if you were right up here in my book, this comment you just went
Yeah, I'm not a dude. I thought I would like them. I was excited. I was like, I've never had one. I'm gonna have my first one in Boston. It's this thing in the East or whatever,
down.
right? I was excited and I tasted it and I'm like, wait a minute, let me go at it again. Had another taste and it just wasn't good to me, man.
You only cover current. So on my I've been doing a lot more book reviews, Kat. Because I have a lot of books that I need to catch up on because I'm super behind. And then in regards to covering cases on like when I do an episode solely devoted to a case, yeah, it would be a solved case. The true crime and chill where we just kind of like this and we're just hanging out and whatnot. We can talk ongoing cases. Doesn't matter whether they're still ongoing or unsolved or whatnot. Um, I hope that answers that. Or if there's like an interview I do with like an author, if they come on, if they're working on a certain book or or if somebody I bring on is tied to a case and it's unsolved, that will certainly cover that. If the book that I'm reviewing is about an unsolved case, I'll talk about that, but I won't necessarily just cover an unsolved case just because, yeah, I'd like to have a whole cohesive thing. But that I don't know. My channel has kind of ebbed and flowed and changed here and there. So you never know. You never know. But good question. Let's see. Auntie Mimi, I don't think I ever knew that. I'm extremely
Oh, Team
disappointed.
Mimi with the elbow drop from the top rope.
I don't, Auntie Mimi, I don't know how I can ever look at you the same. I really
She
don't.
just did the elbow. She just flew off the top rope with the
Look at
elbow
James.
drop.
JFK is a solved case. We know what did it. I mean, oh, and CODIS. Yes. Thank you, Charlie16. Oh, Auntie Mimi, you just, oh, this is an
Anti
older
Mimi
one.
like in wrestling when you're like they come out of nowhere. They came out of nowhere with a chair and they just bam.
There is, well, okay,
That's
there's
funny.
video of a car that was similar to his going by the area, but not close enough where you can get like a license plate or anything. So in the school was able to narrow it down to I think there was 3 cars at his campus, including his, that matched that car that was driving by the area after the murders. Again, you don't have a license plate to go with it, so next Saturday evening, next Saturday night, April 19th. Based on my schedule this month, we have to do it early. But all right, so that is that with Coburger. So we'll keep y'all posted again
So what are you leaning towards? Have you changed your mind yet?
with Coburger.
Well, I mean, not changed your mind, but I mean, because you keep saying there's that you keep all every time we talk about it, every week you're like, well, there could be that one person. I still
I'm
think
not
there's
saying
too
I'm that
much
one
right now.
person.
I just think there's too much against him right now.
I I know a lot of people want to hear about the roommates who kind of just hunkered
Oh, the
down.
other stories and
The phone's
stuff.
right there. Yeah, Great
Yeah, the
minds think
roommate.
alike.
Yeah, yeah.
There's a lot of questions that people have.
What about inconsistencies in storyline in stories? Is there some of that too, right? Or not
Um,
much?
Nothing for me that is like,
Like over what? Like, oh look, like, oh, this is a big deal.
no. I would say no.
I'm gonna have to wait for it because
Well, it's supposed to be August, so we all have to wait for it.
no, I mean, until like I really, because I used to think like it just didn't seem right. Now I was like, okay, and then I'm shifted. Remember, then I'm shifting towards, man, there's a lot of overwhelming against him, right? And then
Mm-hmm.
now when they brought in the other people's DNA, but then again, I heard about it or something about, it could be something to where it came within inside the house, and it probably couldn't have been strangers coming from outside the house into the crime scene or just into the house. So it's just kind of like speculative right now with that.
Yeah.
It's not a for sure thing, so it's not like a ground. There's no ground to it right now. So that's just kind of where I'm at. I'm just kind of like, to me, as of now, at this moment, there's a lot against him. That's all, And then knowing
Mhm.
that he had access. See, a lot of people don't know that. I know we have some new people listening in the chat, but he had access to be able to create a crime scene. Like, remember, and at the school, at the college. So
That's what he was
you,
studying.
yeah, so you could create a crime scene. And to you brought up a good point back then, Danny, where you were like, well, was there a sign in? How was that tracked?
Some
How
type of
many
log of
times?
who was using
Yeah,
it.
like how many times did he get access to that?
Mhm.
So that's crazy to even think about it. I mean, it's kind of cool to think about if you're going in that route of a career where you can create a crime scene, you practice and everything like that.
Mhm.
But gathering evidence, things like that, right?
Processing
but
it.
uh but that kind of thing, but like to do it for that other purpose of this to this magnitude is something, it really is something telling. So
Yeah. I'm glad you brought that up because that would be, like you said, one of the things I would be looking for is they have to have some type of log of, when the
right.
students are using. You think about it, in science classes, there's usually some type of log of when the labs are being used and who they're being
Yeah,
used
yeah, like if
by.
you if you had to use certain instruments or something, like
Yeah, or certain specimens, and you log them and sign them out and whatnot, so people can keep track of everything. I'd like to think it would be the type of thing for a space like this for a PhD program, and I would like to see how often has he been using the space? Did it increase leading up to the murders? Like there's so much I would like to know based on that, and I think there might be something to that if personally, but we'll see. We'll see. There, again, we as the public are only getting a little bit of what is going to be happening at trial because there's no reason for the public to know everything. The trial hasn't happened yet, but yeah, is the bit we know, there's a lot to talk about. So,
Capone.
is it true he did a paper on Ted Bundy? I know he wrote to BTK, Dennis Rader, and there was a lot of speculation in regards to um, Brian Koberger, his initials, BTK's initials, but he wrote to a lot of prisoners. That was part of his study. One could argue, was he doing it for his own personal reasons? Who knows? But about what he would be writing to them about the crimes that they committed. And, I'm sure that angle will definitely be discussed at trial by the state, guarantee it. Yeah, in regards to the car, from what I had been reading, it was that there was a car similar to his, and there was driving by, couldn't get the license plate, and there was only 3 cars similar to that. There was, I believe, some discrepancy on like the make and model at first, if I recall correctly. But
I've seen, before we close it, I have just real quick on closing.
yeah,
I have seen 2 major research videos on the potential victims um and the angle to it being somebody else. And I'm talking a deep. They both did their own research, and I'm talking about this thing goes into different. Into it deep dives into other criminality. It deep dives into other federal agencies being involved in investigations So I don't know the magnitude of what the defense will present as far as, discrediting the survivors or
Mhm.
talking about the victims and their story, their backstories, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but I've seen two different shows, and I mean, it's pretty interesting and sounded pretty valid. But I'm not, it's too much to go into. But it's very damaging. It potentially very, very damaging. I'm just saying. That's all I'm going to say on
Yeah.
it.
No, that's fair. Okay, there's a comment that I'm going to leave for the last of that, Renee. We're going to get to that in a second, but just to close out Koberger. Hey, Carol, the roommate did get the bushy eyebrows right. Plot twist, could his BTK professor, so Dr. Kathleen Ramsland, have been involved. Capone, you are such a conspiracy theorist.
So, all right, what's your friend's name? CU Camp Productions.
Zach.
Zach, take it easy, man. Good luck.
Yeah,
Yeah,
now that
Virginia.
Beckham knows your whole itinerary and probably be mapping out your directions. Yeah.
Enjoy the bridge.
Charlie 1-6 study versus mission planning. Well said, sir. All right, we're moving on from Koberger. But before I do that, Renee, maybe he can run with Chad Daybell until they shoot him. Woof,
Renee, her passion for the
Oh,
Daybells.
God, Renee is
Daybell.
fierce.
There we go. There it is. There it is.
All right, we're moving on from him. Hey, PJ Wolf, good to see you, hon. All right, I think just two more tonight.
See, Wolf knows what I'm talking about. I think Wolf is going in down that road.
Yeah. Well, no, Wolf, Beckham, it's a lot. Yeah, no, Wolf and Capone have been questioning
Yeah.
A lot of other possible things besides Koberger. Capone from day one is that the
Yeah,
roommate.
Capone has been adamant that it's not what it seems. It's not what it seems.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just gonna say that. There you
Yeah.
go.
So I lied. There's actually 3 more things to talk about tonight. I have a lot, y'all. All right. But a couple
And
of them are
you're gonna start paying me overtime for this. Come on.
Well, does overtime count when you show up late to begin with?
Overtime.
Yeah, answer me that, Beckham. Answer me that. So there is a case here in Massachusetts that has been huge here this week. And it is Ingolf Turk, known as Harry. So he is 63-year-old Harry, a doctor from Dover, Massachusetts. And
Do you like that name too?
Wait, what's funny about that?
You're like Harry, and I was like, do you
Well,
like
that's
that
what he
name?
goes by.
I
So
know,
his
but I was
name
like, do
is
you like
Ingolf
that?
Turk, but he goes by Harry.
I know, but I was like, do you like that name too?
Harry's easier for me to say than Ingolf. And I'm probably still saying his name wrong. But again, a doctor from Dover, Massachusetts. So Beckham, it's all jokes now until we get into what he did.
I
He
think
was
I saw this
convicted,
week. Yeah.
of voluntary manslaughter. This was regarding strangling his wife. So he admitted to strangling his wife and dumping her body in a local pond in 2020. Harry was initially charged with first-degree murder for the killing of his wife, 45-year-old Kathleen McLean. So Harry testified that he, quote, blacked out, end quote, and grabbed Kathleen by the neck after she allegedly smashed a glass over his head during a drunken altercation at a home in May 2020. He maintained he did not intend to harm or kill his wife. Quote, I didn't like to cause the death of another human being. I spent all my life to save lives. So I was pretty much in shock with myself with what happened. Yes, I am extremely sorry and guilty and shameful about what happened, end quote. They had only been married about 5 months, but separated during a turbulent period, and then they reconciled recently before what happened in 2020. So prosecutors, however, portrayed Harry as a, quote, methodical, oh my God, I can't say it, methodical. I don't know what I just said. Methodical and detail-oriented, end quote, cold-blooded killer.
It's a methodical
jury-
creature.
What?
It's a methodical creature.
Thank
Look
you
at
for
this.
saying it right on the first go. I don't know how the hell I butchered that. Methodical. So the jury ultimately convicted Harry of the lesser charge of voluntary manslaughter and spared him a life sentencing. So the sentencing part of the trial is scheduled for May 16th. He faces up to 20 years in prison. Harry hung his head and cried when the verdict was read. Did this case make it out in the news to where you are or where anybody else is, or was this strictly a New England thing?
New England thing, because I just happened to see it today somewhere, but
Capone, methodical intruder. I'm giving you a star for that. If I could give you more stars, I would. Renee says, yes, it was here. Thank you. Karen Reed. We're getting to Karen. Danny After Dark, do a deep dive on the groomer cop who is connected to the Karen Reed case. Oh, in regard to Sandra Birchmore, is that the one you're referring to, Capone? All right. So yeah, not a lot of people are familiar with this, but I've never heard of this case in my life. Okay, that's fair. It was big here. Again, maybe if anybody wants to deep dive into this a little bit more, it is Ingolf Turk, known as Harry Dover, former doctor, going to jail. So the cop that groomed a girl and killed her. Yes, that's Sandra Birchmore. So Beckham, I don't think you're too familiar with Sandra Birchmore.
no.
Again, there's ties to the Mass State Police, overlapping with Canton Police. It's a whole shit show. Sandra Birchmore. That is a very upsetting yeah. I think we've talked about that before a little bit. And I think Liz was on the show when we did that. But we'll be talking about that more for sure. Justice for Sandra, 100% PJ. And if you guys don't know, after the show, Google Sandra Birchmore. It is atrocious what happened with law enforcement in her case. Atrocious. So, all right, let's see what else we got tonight. Okay, we'll leave Karen Reed for last. So this one kind of grabbed my attention because it just reminded me of the Pamela Smart case. And for those of you who are thinking, why does that name sound familiar? Pamela Smart had, and this was years ago, she was a teacher, had her 15-year-old boyfriend, William Billy Flynn, and his friends kill her husband. That's in a nutshell. Look it up. If you're not familiar with that, keep that in mind. Yeah, Mass State Police is horrible.
There's so many like women. Well, I think we talked about this maybe 2 shows ago. The rise in women teachers being caught with teenage boys, and I mean, more like 15 to 18 or whatever, 14 to 17, that 3-year range, but young adults. But or not even, no, you can't say adults because they're under the 18.
No, because they're by definition
so I
under
guess they're
18
still
kids.
minors. I'm sorry, but anyway.
But
There's
yeah,
this
I mean,
dude,
we're not talking
that's
about
like elevated, like so crazy, man. It's like every week, almost there. No, maybe not every week. At least like once a month, or
yeah, I would say
twice a month, maybe. I mean,
it's
seriously, like
becoming more common, and it's disgusting
like
that it's
twice
becoming more
a month,
common.
man. At least you'll see it somewhere in some state, some
Mhm.
city, whatever.
So, and you'll see it right now in Kentucky. And we're talking about it tonight, Elena Barden. So, Elena Barden, a 27-year-old Kentucky teacher, she was working at a juvenile detention center. She is accused of trying to get an inmate to kill her husband. Again, the second I saw that headline, I'm like, all right, we're talking about Pamela Smart, but in the year 2025, basically.
That's funny.
So the Adair County Juvenile Detention Center conducted a routine search of the living units on March 27th. Troopers said they found letters and sexually explicit material in a boy's bunk. Officials said the items were sent by Elena and found that she had subjected the boy to illegal sexual contact and provided him with sexually explicit images of herself. They also found that Elena asked the boy to kill her husband. Kentucky State Police have arrested her. She is being held at the Adair County Detention Center on charges of solicitation for murder, first-degree sexual assault or sexual abuse, and distribution of obscene matter. Obscene matter to a minor. Yeah, like Beckham said, it's just disgusting. It's disgusting. And think of like, I mean, even
I saw one earlier today. I don't know, and it's not this one. It's just just another case where the lady's like 15 years in counseling. She's like 45, 3 kids, married, like typical life, you know. And it's just, and she just kind of, the judge asked her something, and she just like agreed she did it. It was like no big deal. Like I don't. It's like, is it? Oh, man, I don't know how to put. I told you I had a friend that it happened with. Remember?
Yeah.
He was a football player. He was a very popular kid in high school. And the teacher at the time, he was 17. It was a senior year, and his teacher was 37. So she was 20 years older. And he never told. So that lady got away with
Until
it.
later.
Yeah, until like 10 years later, he told it.
Right.
He told me, but but I didn't go tell the. No, yeah,
Right.
like nobody
Right.
said anything, you know.
No, what I meant
So
was
it's
he
been,
didn't tell anybody at the time the
I
abuse
just
was
think
happening.
I think it's just happened forever, and I think you would think that the male, educators probably get like the thing of it, but it's really, I think it's always been the women doing it, and it's just more like and it's kind of like that's double-edged sword thing where like, oh, that's so cool, you hooked up with your teacher, type of thing, from the guy's standpoint of it, to
It's
where
viewed differently.
it's viewed differently. It just is. I don't know how to put it.
Because
It
when the
is.
women go on trial, the defense definitely tries to paint them in like a very victim type, like victim of circumstances type of
Yeah.
thing versus a male teacher or
It's,
someone
oh
like
yeah,
that.
you're gonna go to
Yeah.
prison. They're gonna kill you
Yeah.
or
It's
whatever. Right.
definitely like I remember when Mary Kay Letourneau happened, and that was shocking. I was a kid when that came out. That was shocking. I think now I think it's always existed in just social media now and the news and the way media is reported. It's just we get the news immediately. And yeah, like when I heard of this case and I was like, oh wow, this kind of brings to me
We
like
had just talked about
Social
another one like
Smart.
2 weeks ago or something. Yeah.
Yeah, we did just recently talk
And
about
I
one.
think that's why we talked about it, because something else happened. And yeah.
Was this did I get that type of shocking feeling as I did when the Mary Kay Letourneau one happened? No. And that's unfortunate because it just kind of goes to show that this is happening more and more. So as a society, yes, we get angry and we're like, oh, another one, this shouldn't have happened. And then we move on. But this should not happen. And especially, again, even if it was a teacher in a public school and, this was a high school, I wouldn't say college, high school underage student, horrific enough. This was Elena here in Kentucky was working at a juvenile detention center. So you already are targeting a victim who
Yeah.
is in a very vulnerable situation being in this juvenile detention center. It just adds a whole nother
It's a
layer
good
to it
point,
of like,
Renee.
it just shows what a predator Elena was. To not only, the sexual relationship, that in itself is horrific, to push it to, hey, can I solicit you? Of course, you're not using that word to your victim. Can you help me kill my husband? What the hell?
Yeah. Yeah, because they already have a sort of experience. That's
Well,
why
they're
they're
in a
there.
juvenile. I don't know
Right.
what I
Well,
don't know what this
right.
victim was in there for. A
Right.
juvenile
But
detention center could
right.
have been something
Okay,
otherwise.
so we're talking about this case, and I know of 2 this week. That's 3.
That's obscene. Like that's insane.
Like
We
I know
should
2
not be
other ones,
doing that.
not in a murder plot, just that it happened with
No,
women
I
and
know what you
a
mean.
student. Yeah. So this is 3, and just today that I can talk about or whatever.
Horrible. Renee said they have cell phones, which is the smoking gun. Absolutely. James, they usually get busted from their text history and picture. Yeah, everything's backed up. I doubt the kid was in there for white collar crime. But I don't know.
Capo.
I don't know. I mean, you're not,
That's funny.
who knows? But regardless, he's now a victim
That's
of
funny.
this woman. Like, this should never have happened.
Right.
Let's see. I know there's some more. I don't want to. Yeah,
I
Wolf.
can't believe I can't believe I know someone personally that it happened to. He's in my Facebook. He's on my page, social media page.
Beckham.
What?
Don't say that.
Oh, I'm just saying, like, no, it wasn't. It's not like it wasn't when discussing it with him. It wasn't like it was like he was hurt by it. It was almost like a conquer thing for him. Like it was not a, like it just wasn't. He just wasn't gonna go tell anybody about it.
Right. Which most don't.
He was seven. Yeah, he
This
was
kid
17.
didn't tell
He was
anybody.
almost, right.
Troopers found that stuff.
Yeah.
So, luckily they did. Who knows how far this would have gone? You're targeting a kid to like not only do these, sexual acts with, but you're soliciting them to try to commit a murder. Like, what the hell?
I know, dude.
Wolf.
When you talk about it in that sense, it sounds a lot more like,
Well, that's what happened.
I know.
That's what happens. And again, that happened with Pamela Smart.
Yeah.
And
I don't remember Pamela Smart, but I'll take your word.
Oh, Beckham, learn something from. Well, you know what? If you subscribe to this channel, when you're not on it, you will learn something.
That's true.
Wolf, my friend who is a teacher said, if you even think of it, that's what you're crossing the line.
Right. That's what's supposed to be the motto. That's supposed to be the motto for high school teachers. Or
I agree.
I guess any teacher, but.
And then Renee, kids can't consent. Kids cannot consent. A 17-year-old, not Beckham's friend, or just is still legally a minor. That is not consent.
Right. Correct. No, you're right. You're absolutely right.
I want to get that on repeat. Just saying you're right.
No, I meant she's right. Renee was absolutely right.
Oh, I thought you were talking about me.
No, I meant Renee.
Oh, I got all excited. I'd be like, Beckham, let me just record that on loop. So when you call, I just hear, you're right. Danny,
hey, does it put you? Will it put you like in a nicer mood? Like, oh.
Charlie, I know.
I don't know about all that, but
yeah. So we'll see what happens with Elena, and yeah, I want to keep an eye on this.
Go for it.
We'll see. And if this is a topic where, like, overall as an audience, you guys are just like, Danny, no, we don't want to go. Like, no.
Calm down, Wolf.
Let me know.
Calm down.
Let me know. Not a problem, because I know the kids stuff, which we don't kind of go there as well, but. Anyway, so last of the night, Karen Reed. And there's not a ton, except after almost 2 weeks of jury selection, as of Thursday, there was now 16 jurors seated. On Monday, there will be another day of jury selection. Actually, no, I think I had that note wrong. I think it's supposed to be 18. Jurors seated. On Monday, there's going to be another day of jury selection, just so they can get extra jurors in case any drop out during the trial. The first trial, there was, I believe, 19 jurors, and by the end, there was only 14. So remember, 12 jurors, and then they need alternates. So they want to get some extra just in case, but which I think is a very smart move. So opening arguments will start next week. Date to be announced, but it will start next week. What we learned this week is that Alan Jackson will be making the opening statements. Last time it was David Yannetti.
David Yannetti. That's your boy.
Rumored, I know, David Yannetti. Oh, it's rumored that your boy, Hank Brennan, will make the opening.
That's not my guy. What are you talking about? No, I can't stand that dude. That dude is in that. Oh God, I just can't with that guy.
He's supposedly going to be making the opening arguments for the state. So Beckham, for a Alan Jackson versus Hank Brennan showdown, whew,
They're
we're in
gonna
for it.
tango.
So the U.S. Supreme Court, because again, Karen Reed and her defense team have appealed all the way up to the U.S. Supreme Court. They decided not to delay her trial. On April 25th, they will examine her case and decide if they will take it on. Again, what she's trying and her team is trying to say is double jeopardy. There were several, the first trial, the jury found her not guilty on 2 counts, but it was unclear based on the judge's description of what they were allowed to vote on. It was unclear that they could come back to the judge and say, we are unanimous on 2 of the 3 charges. We are not sure on the third. They didn't know they could do that, which that falls on the judge for not explaining that. It wasn't until after it was declared a mistrial that jurors started to come forward saying, here's what happened.
Danny, you need to
Supreme Court
invest in a film camera, the small ones, and a
What about it?
microphone. You need to invest in that, and head out there and just get some interviews.
I will be taking a day off work and standing outside at some point, probably in May, once the trial's underway.
Oh, like next month? Yeah,
May is next month because this is April, hun.
You made it sound like it's like far away, like in May.
Well, today's April 11th.
It's like in 2 weeks.
It feels, I know. Oh my God. But I don't expect the U.S. Supreme Court to, take on her case, because they think of the amount of cases that the U.S. Supreme Court gets as appeals. They take on a very small amount, and it takes a lot for them to overturn. I don't see them I don't see them taking it on, and 2, if they take it on, I don't see them overturning it because, it's.
I think they're going to stay away from it.
Mm-hmm. Well,
you know what? All I care about, I want to know what they're going to do with the 3 potential suspects that Yannetti and Jax are going to put out there. That's what I want, and I want to know what's going to happen to that information, and if they forego into looking into those potential suspects. That's what I want now out of this. I just think she's going to get let go, but to me now, I'm looking for the 3 suspects and what they're going to do.
Which is Brian Albert, Colin Albert, and Brian Higgins.
Correct. Because they put it out there, the defense. I didn't know you could do that. They did, and they're going to go after it, and they're definitely going to go after it, and they're going to put it out there, and they better, the state better do something about it.
Well, we know the state is not bringing back Trooper Proctor as a witness, but the defense is bringing him in.
Yep.
Yeah,
that's going to be more. I can't wait. I can't wait when this happens.
Oh, and Alessi, who joined the team, oh my God, he is on point. And I'm totally blanking her name, and we brought her up, I think it was last week. Remember one of the alternate jurors in the first trial? Now she's an attorney. She now joined Karen Reed's defense team. I'm totally blanking her name. My apologies.
Thanks, Charlie, for the info.
Yeah,
he's more seasoned on the court stuff.
Okay, thank you, Charlie. Yeah, it's wild. I'm very curious what's going to happen.
Hey, Charlie, what's your take on the defense naming 3 potential suspects and the possibility of the courts going or an agency going after them?
Yeah, we have our theories on that we've discussed.
No, I really want something to be followed through with that. That's all.
Well, it's so sad, but John O'Keefe's family will never have the answers or never know what really happened because the state totally fucked up handling this case correctly. But
I couldn't believe it when we were. When was that? Like, I know it was last year, but when last year?
It was this time last year.
Like July?
It went into, it
started.
started.
I was already here.
I forget the
So it had
exact.
to have been June or July.
Because
Late June.
CrimeCon was
Late
in
June.
May.
I think it was late June. So it
CrimeCon was in May, and the trial was a few weeks in already when I went
yeah,
to
so it was probably
CrimeCon.
June. We're like 10 months. That happened like 10 months ago. But with Proctor, that's when I came into it.
Capone, they're trying her twice as a patsy. What makes you think they'll prosecute the real? Right. And okay, no, and
Well, I don't know.
Capone,
I'm just
but
maybe it's a
also,
defense thing. Maybe that's what they're just the defense is just using that as more of a
they're not going to prosecute one of, I hate to say
their
one of
own,
their
like
own,
you
because
say,
they're
like their own.
clearly, what are they going to do? Try Brian Albert, the
Well, you
homeowner,
can't. I
where
mean, it would have to be a whole different thing. It would have to be a whole separate
in all a defense.
investigation.
Let's say hypothetically, Karen Reed was acquitted,
Right.
and then the next step is, yeah, I bet they don't touch it. I agree. Because then what? Let's say they were like, okay, Brian Albert, the homeowner, we're going after you. You don't think he's going to get to, one,
Yeah.
it would never get to trial, and two, his defense attorney would have
And
to
it's going to be a
prove.
waste. It would have been a waste of money with the Karen completely on two separate occasions.
But they would say, wait a minute, your whole argument was that she was hit, or that John O'Keefe was hit by a vehicle, and now you're bringing my client in saying that he was attacked in his home. When in the first trial, your officers said, you know what I mean? They would just rip that to shreds. So if they lose this, which they should, it's done. But Beckham, it's going to start next week.
Can't wait.
It's going to start next week.
It's going to be a crazy month of April with the Karen Reed case. Star Wars is back.
P.
Leading
Diddy
into
starts next month.
the May the 4th be with you. And then we get the Diddy case.
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be exciting times. Exciting times.
Beckham.
Get ready for the drama for your mama.
And you know what? And we still have Lori Vallow Daybell.
Oh yeah, we still
We
have that.
cannot forget Lori Vallow Daybell. All right, folks. It has been a long evening of us
And
throwing.
wait, but I wanted to give you some piece of information earlier from when you did that whole lost in emotion moment. When it reminded me of the song.
Lisa, the culture.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Did you know that song was a #1 hit? It was a legit. I didn't
Yeah,
know it was a legit #1 hit. It was.
I
It's
know
a
that.
#1 hit, and it was 1987. That's
I
crazy.
like her. I like Lisa.
Yeah, I didn't know, but I didn't know. You know how hard it is to get a #1 hit? How many songs that you think are like, oh,
I
that's a
think,
#1 hit, and it's not a #1 hit, and that was legit a #1. It hit the mark in 1987.
I think I own that.
I like looking at old like songs and seeing which ones were like #1s and which ones like came close. But yeah, it was a #1, a Billboard Hot 100 #1.
Oh, I
Yeah,
don't have that. Okay, so I don't know if you can see.
coast to
I do
coast.
have Lisa and Cult Jam on my phone. I have Head to Toe and Lost in Emotion.
Lost in Emotion was a #1. I don't know about Head to Toe, but I know that one, dude. Like I said, you get a #1 hit. Just even if you're a one hit wonder, it doesn't matter. It's still hard to do.
So she all cried out. I wonder if I
They
take you
both
home.
were. She had back to back #1 hits, dude. Or that group did.
Yes, they did. I have
Wow,
them
that's
on my phone.
crazy. That's crazy. So Head to Toe
Kokomo.
and Lost in Emotion were back to back #1 hits. Wow.
Wow. I'm gonna
I
probably.
didn't know. I'm just saying. I just reminded me in that moment. You're like in the Lost in Emotion. I was like,
No,
hey.
I
I
was
was like,
bummed
that's
when
a
I found
song.
out I missed her at the '80s prom. I was like, oh man. Which cult killed more people, man? I mean, Capone. That's an easy answer. Um, yeah, you know what, folks? I'm telling you right now, mark my words, I'm gonna get a audio message from Beckham at probably like 3 in the morning, and it will be him with Lisa and the Cult Jam in the background. So oh God. All right, everybody. Thank you for joining us for the weekly True Crime and Chill. Again, tune in next Monday for a live interview on my channel. I plugged it earlier, and there is a video that I will be uploading shortly, and I'm very excited for that. It will be from Travis Myers, another Nobody podcast that he hosts. So stay tuned for that. We'll see you then. And then True Crime and Chill later next week. And then next Saturday, again, the 19th, is the book club book review. So any other final parting words, Beckham?
Nope. 2 number 1 hits. Now that's crazy.
Okay, let me leave you all with this. If Lisa and the Cult Jam gets like a second wind of fame overnight tonight, Beckham, it's attributed to you. Remember, everybody, we don't live in darkness. Darkness lives in us. Bye.